Hello everybody, in today's video I will show you how you can build yourself an efficient and cost-efficient mob farm. The farm works for both slimes, the regular ones, poison slimes, mold creatures, and larvas. There's gonna be two versions of this design, each requiring at least 40 walls, 4 fences of your choice. They don't need to be exactly stone bricks. And then 100 of either ground slime, ground poison slime, chrysalis, and the mold ground, which I will show you how you can get after showcasing how you can build the farm. The first version, being the cheaper one, would require you to have spike traps. The second version, needing conveyor belts, will require 92 conveyor belts and just 8 spike traps. Though the differences between these two farms is obviously the first one being the more cheaper one, and the second one both kills them faster and makes it easier to collect from the farm faster. You just walk through on the top of the fence like this and you can collect everything. Now this is a pretty bad example because there's no larva spawn yet, so I will show you here. You just walk through and you collect them. So to begin building the farm, you just need to start placing your walls on either the left and the right side, because that's the only way for you to be able to go through. If you build them on the top or the bottom, looking like this, you won't be able to go through. But if you place them on the sides, you can go through freely, just as you want. So we will get started by placing the walls first, and then the next thing you want to do is to place the ground of choice. Now if you're wanting the mold creatures, this is when you're gonna need a shovel, and you're gonna dig up the ground 10 by 10. Now that you've filled in the ground 10 by 10 with mold ground, you can either do this with the mold ground, or you don't dig anything at all and just place either the chrysalis or the ground slimes directly on the floor. I've not tested placing this on top of the mold ground, but I would assume that it works. So I guess you can make a 2-in-1 farm, which is kind of cool. Anyways, the next thing you want to do is to surround this thing with regular molds of your choice. Now that we've placed in the walls, what we want to do is to place 8, for the cheap version, you need to place the spike traps in a circle like this. And then the second ring wants to be 2 tiles down, like from a corner, and you just place them in 4 by 4. And this is the cheap version of the farm. Now for the more expensive version of the farm, you will only need 8 spike traps, but you will need 92 conveyor belts. So basically you're gonna need about 19 bars of iron and 19 scarlet bars, and you should have enough conveyor belts. You start by placing the spikes like 4 by 2 in front of the door that you've placed, and then you want to place the conveyor belts on the sides, pointing into the spikes and not each other. And then from either the left or the right wall, depending on which way you have built this thing, you want to build the conveyor belts, filling the entire room, pointing towards the conveyor belts on the sides of the spike traps and the spike traps themselves. And we're done. You just completed the farm, and all you have to do is to wait, and mobs will spawn. They will be pushed into these spikes, they will die. All you need to do is just run in, collect everything, and run out. If you chose the cheaper version, you just have to run a little bit further. They might die a bit slower as well, and that's literally how you build the farm. Now, the way for you to get yourself ground slime is by running around the spawn area of your world, and you just right click with a shovel and you should get yourself 100 ground slime in literally no time. If you somehow have any trouble finding this, you can just spawn in the boss, have him chase you around, and he will create spots like this or you can run through the worm tracks where the worm has been going around your world for years, and you just collect this slime from there. Now, the way you find the purple ground slime is by running through the Azia's wilderness, which to be able to walk in here, you need to kill all 3 bosses that you have inside of this circle. To then upgrade the core, or like repair the core, you just click the core and then you can go over to the wall leading to the Azia's wilderness. Just roam around and you will find these spots just spawning everywhere, sometimes inside of these small houses. Look around here, you also will find spots, or if you somehow find the ivy boss, which I cannot find for the sake of myself, you can also find a lot of poison ground slime over there as well. Then the way for you to get the molded ground, so you can spawn these molds right here, is by locating a mold dungeon looking like this. The ground won't be exactly like this. This is just what I've dug up and replaced it with stone bridges from strip mining the entire stone biome for these pyramids. You go in here and you dig up the ground. So you want to be careful when going in here, because you might die if you get hit by one of these tentacles things. They like to throw like little rocks at you that will stun you for 5 years. So there's a perk that you might want to look into before doing this, called the Escape Artist, making it so those stuns will last longer. Or you can just place walls in front of here while mining things and replacing it with bridges or grounds of your choice. And that's how you get yourself the ground. Then lastly, the way for you to get chrysalis, spawning the small larva mobs for larva meat. You want to locate the larva, the hive biome, where the hive mother boss will spawn. You will go around her dungeon thingy and you will find these spots on the ground looking like this, and you can just dig them up. And if you cannot find them but you have at least one of these, they also do spread to nearby hive tiles looking like this, larva high ground. You can place that under the farm and just place one of these, let it grow, and then you can start placing the spikes and the conveyor belts, and you should have yourself the farm in no time. Now, if you're having trouble finding the hive biome, what you can do to locate it easier is by going over to this statue. After you kill the slime boss, you get this crystal thing. You place that in here and you will have access to 2 of these scanners. One of these scanners being the hive mother scanner that allows you to find her biome and herself, costing only 5 gemstones and 5 mechanical parts. And unless you have killed her, of course, and if you have killed her, then you should already know where this biome is. And that's the video for today. If you learn anything from this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.